Hello everyone, and welcome back to another not too shabby video. We're going to make two more cards with two of the stamp sets from the spring summer release for Not Too Shabby. And I went a little crazy with the eggs on this one, but I thought it turned out super cute. And you will see this just in time for Easter. So I'm using squeezed lemonade, and I'm using snot tape to create a line on my panel for my landscape. And I just colored the upper half, blended the upper half with squeezed lemonade, and then I moved that so I could do the lower half with mowed lawn. And aside from this panel, I'm also going to ink blend two other panels with the mowed lawn so I can cut out some grassy hills with the MFT Grassy Hill dies. So those are the two panels that I did, and I'm doing two for behind and one for in front. And I didn't show you the coloring and the stamping of my main image because it was a lot of coloring and stamping, a lot of masking involved. It was some definite masking magic, let me tell you. But there's so many videos this month also that it just cuts into the editing time like you wouldn't believe when there's a lot of coloring and masking. So we'll get back to the normal videos next month. I have my two grassy hills cut out for the behind, so I'm just going to place those on my card panel and then trim off the excess. And I was just outside a little bit ago. Right here I'm just choosing my sentiment and I'm going to put it on the cloud. I was standing outside. I was going to go to the car for this voiceover, and I changed my mind after I heard what sounded like a pack of wolves, no lie, and they must have went on for about 35-40 seconds. I did get some of it on video, but only the tail end, like the last 10 seconds, so it doesn't seem as scary in that last 10 seconds as it did when I was listening to it. I wish I would have thought sooner to record it, but ironically, I was thinking about doing a voiceover, so that app was open. Moving on, I stamped out my sentiment and covered it with some clear embossing powder, and I popped up my image on foam tape, and I'm going to add glue to that foam tape to make sure it stays put on the ink blended background. So I have a lot of clouds in the sky, and I do have it looking like it's raining eggs, and that little chick has his umbrella up and he's buried in a pile of eggs. But the panel, even though I left it fairly large, and the eggs are too large to really have them coming out of any clouds, so I just had them like it was the tail end of the egg fall. So they're just hitting, the rest of them are hitting the umbrella and bouncing off onto the ground, rather than trying to force one of those eggs looking like it came out of the clouds. Those clouds are so tiny, I just didn't think it would look right. So there you go. All my single eggs are placed, and all the single eggs are also popped up on foam tape. And now I'm putting a double layer in height of foam tape and cut it in half so it would be 1/4 inch wide along the bottom edge of this card panel, so I can pop up the front layer of grass so that everything doesn't look like it's just sitting on top of the grass. And now we're going to trim that down so it's the same size as the main card panel, excuse me. And then I'm going to use my art glitter glue to glue the entire thing onto the card base itself. And that's it for this card. Simple card. The ink blending was simple. I mean, the coloring and masking is more involved, but I thought it turned out super cute. Now for the second card for this video, we're going to use the tea stamp set. I think it's Tea Time Buddies. It'll be listed below. I had all the names of these stamp sets down pat in my mind, and there's just so much going on. I'm drawing a blank right now. So I'm doing 3 of the stack of teacups right now. I'm stamping them out with my Misty, and it looks lopsided, but that's only because I penciled in a rectangle, because that's going to be cut out with a rectangle die. So I had it slid over because I knew where I was going to be cutting it. Now that those are all stamped, I'm going to save you the coloring. It was some simple coloring with one white glazed Jelly Roll pen and one black glazed Jelly Roll pen. And I tried to make every cup and every stack a little bit different. And I like the shininess of it when you get a close-up. So now we're going to cut that out with the rectangle die. And it's just a Lawn Fawn stitched rectangle die. I cannot remember the size right now, but there's a good, decent sized frame around it, as you'll see in a second. That's the card base itself, and there was way too much room, so I'm putting a black mat in between the card base and the main card front. And I really like the black and white look of this card. It's really different from many of the cards that I made, color scheme wise, and really the look of it also. We're going to pop that teacup stack panel up with some foam tape. Excuse me. And now we're going to work on the sentiment strip. And I took a pre-cut sentiment strip. I cut a bunch of these out with the Neat and Tangled Skinny Strips dies a while back. So I just have them in a little jar and I grab them when I need them. And I'm using 2 of the sentiments from the set. To My Bestie and then Mercy. So thanks or thank you. Not sure which. After I heat emboss that with some white fine detail embossing powder, Ranger, I'm going to wipe off the excess anti-static powder, and then I'm going to add 3 dots after To My Bestie with my Jelly Roll pen. And then I'm going to just use double-sided tape. Nope, foam tape. That's foam tape. And pop that up in the center of the panel on the top. And after that, we're going to take that stack of colored teacups. And I did those in just some different colors. But when I was done with that, those are going to be popped up with foam tape as well, with a little double piece at the bottom, because that panel is raised up on card or foam tape. I wanted to say I put some clear Nuvo drops over that and it cracked, but I love it because it looks like old glazed ceramic plates, so I left it alone. That's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope that you enjoy all the videos coming out by the design team this month. Check out Jamie's shop and check out the new release. And don't forget to use the coupon code to save 10%. We will see you in the next video, guys. Bye-bye for now.